the way, welcome back to Muni-Lot Madness episode 4. We got a full house today. We got B Rhodes in the house talking baseball at the end, tapping in with the Browns as well. Jay Morg still down in Siesta Key. Kevin Ritt coming from Ohio. Myself, Los Angeles, California. So initial takes, we had some. Everyone thought the game was boring. I thought it was kind of exciting.
I thought it was a good game.
I'll tell you, Dobbs looked pretty good.
Yeah.
That's what I'm.
If he's our third string, we're
that's what I'm
doing
saying.
well.
Hold your horse there, Jacoby Brissett.
Dude, yeah, I mean, he's like, when you compare Brissett and Dobbs compared to like who our starter is, I just feel like if we want the offense to be like more running with the quarterback and stuff like that, like Dobbs is going to be that guy to kind of sub in for Deshaun in a way. But I mean, we'll see what they do with Brissett. But
I mean, Brissett can move, but
No, Brissett
Dobbs
is
is
not a
looking
mobile.
good.
No, people like to say Brissett is like a mobile quarterback. Brissett's not a mobile quarterback. Brissett is not fast. I
As
don't
a
know what.
pocket
Prime.
Brissett is more, when we talk mobile quarterback, he's more like Watson where he can move, but that's not the focus of his game. Whereas Dobbs, it's more the focus of his game.
I think Brissett can move, like he can move, but not like Watson. I mean, what?
no.
I mean, what?
Well, what I mean is like with
He
Watson,
can move like
is,
Big
you
Ben
know,
can.
when I say Brissett can move, it's not so much that, he's like Lamar Jackson where running is a focus of his game. It's more, he can move. You're probably better off if you're not incorporating him into the run game, but like, it's not that he doesn't have it.
Mark's is saying he can outrun him in the 40, basically. That's what I heard.
Fuck no. No. If you're in the NFL, I'm not outrunning you in the 40.
I think Brissett is slightly a slightly better mobile quarterback than Baker is. That's about it.
Yeah.
I could agree with that.
But
But
Again,
putting
like
him in the-
Baker's not known for mobility either. Like he can
Right.
move, but it's not the focus.
to put Jacoby Brissett into the same category, anything athletically with Deshaun Watson is just I don't know what the hell's going on.
David Bell dropped a ball today on a critical third down. What do you guys think about that? Anything to that?
He talked about it post game. He heard footsteps, but he's got to come down with it. Bottom line.
Is that the one where he got poked out at the end?
No, I don't think so. It just kind of like hit him right here and then hit him in the chest.
Okay.
I don't know. I guess. I mean,
I thought he played pretty good.
I thought he did too. Honestly, it sucks that he had to have that one catch that he dropped that you're talking about. But from people saying that he like didn't drop a damn pass in training camp, I mean, at least like he was getting open. At least like the balls where he had separation on. So that's kind of positive.
Yeah, and then Schwartz, I think, also had a good game back. At least he's kind of like he's taking some steps in the right direction. I mean, game one was he was taking some heat game one. He kind of bounced back this week and had a good, decent game today, I think.
I'm just hoping he's not on the field that much.
We watched Schwartz, and I didn't see anything that actively pissed me off.
No, he had a good sideline catch that created a first down. But yeah, I'm kind of with Brennan here. It's not like I dislike Schwartz, but I think we could have better options on the field than him.
I mean, we're going to be running Amari, DPJ, and Bell with probably 2 tight ends.
Yeah.
If not two running backs. So he's
They'll
probably the
kinda get,
odd man out.
Yeah, they'll throw him into the mix like here and there, but
Yeah, exactly. Ideally, Schwartz is your 5th, 6th target, in which case, who gives a shit? But, all we're hoping is that when he's on the field, he's not a complete liability.
Yeah. I mean,
He's
we had
smirking there, Rittner.
a decent game today. Kate
He's
York,
kind of a bust. He's a bust so far.
what
for
what
sure.
round was he picked in? 4th?
Third?
He was like the
Third.
middle of the 3rd round. In which case, at that point, you're hoping he's not awful.
Damn, I didn't know we picked him that high.
wait,
no.
Yeah, it was viewed as a little bit of a reach.
who'd you say is a bust?
Schwartz.
Oh, Schwartz. Okay, yeah.
I'm
think
not gonna say he's a bust, but in the middle of the third round, you're kind of hoping, all right, he can play. He's a rotational player. You're hoping for a little bit more, but at the same time, it's still middle of the third round.
That's where we got Bell. If not, we got Bell later.
Yeah, we got
We
him
got Bell
in the
later.
third.
We got Bell
him
later.
and Emerson in the third.
Like end of the third, I think, early fourth, something like that.
Yeah. So I mean, it was a decent last 2 weeks. I mean, Stefanski, I think, is doing a really good job of coaching a young roster. So each kind of game, I see the young players kind of ball out. I know what I said last time about him being on the hot seat, but he's proving me wrong week by week because he can coach a young roster. So that's pretty good.
It's just
So
training
I
camp,
will
though.
say
That's what
I have been reliably informed by the fucking cat dude working the cash register at the Siesta Key Market that Stefanski doesn't know what he's doing. Just, the reliable source that he is.
Hey, that's an inside source.
According to Cal standards, it is.
That's what I'm saying.
Hey, doesn't matter. Hey, it doesn't matter if it's a family friend, guy working the cash register.
In Siesta Key.
Or a guy off the fucking street.
Fine.
We got guys on.
That Jimmy Haslam.
We just keep compiling our list of inside sources.
So this year doesn't count for Stefanski.
I mean,
I
That's
think
what we're-
the
that's what we're
issue
saying.
We're gonna run into there is, I wouldn't say it doesn't count so much as you have to be realistic about what the standards are, and if you meet those expectations and those standards, then yes, it's I don't want to say it doesn't count, but you have to be realistic in your expectations, so you have to lower them a little bit, given that we are starting, Jacoby Brissett.
Yeah.
And if we get Jimmy G, I mean, that's another expectation, right?
Yeah, before we go into there, so we got to break down the Deshaun Watson suspension. So NFL appealed, and Roger Goodell in the league handed Deshaun an 11-game suspension. He'll be back week 13 against his former team, Houston. So for the first 11 games, we will be playing with, which, I mean, everybody can make the assumption is Jacoby Brissett. He hasn't taken a in-game rep yet, which kind of has me really confused. I know they weren't saying they're going to play the starters this week, so they just kind of put him into that group, but still, it's like, you better play next week.
Yeah. I mean, he did the joint practice this week with Philly, and they kind of, like, I was listening, like, on the TV. Like I said last week, they did that because in the game, he has a possibility of getting hurt, where when you do those practices, they lay off the quarterbacks.
I mean, according to like everyone across the league, those joint practices are like way more valuable than like the preseason game. And it seems like they even want to kind of move away from the preseason completely. That's just what they've been saying. So I wouldn't be surprised if he doesn't. But yeah, I'd like to at least see a series or two. But if not, I'm not mad. But really regarding the suspension, I just think the fact that he's coming back against Houston goes to show that the NFL doesn't give a fuck about that he's on the field or not. It's just absolutely insane that was a talking point that they wanted it to be 12 games, so he didn't play then. And then they go ahead and settle just so they don't have to go into court and get their shit brought up and get that happy medium with 11. But
An
yeah,
an odd number of games.
it's just stupid. It's stupid.
You can't see it, but I'm rolling my eyes. Why do they care?
They don't.
If they're
They never will.
honestly, the suspension really kind of kicked the Browns in the balls because it's just long enough that he doesn't get the season, or that he gets the season accrued, and so it's just short enough that he gets the season accrued. In which case, they're still paying it. They're counting it towards his contract, where he's now being paid, $50 million next year as opposed to $10 million. But it's just long enough that it pretty much torpedoes any chance they had at playoffs.
Well, that's the reason they did it, right? Had to be.
Likely.
Yeah, you never know what they're thinking. So how many games do we think Jacoby can take out of 11? How many games How many games does he need to win in order for us to have a chance at possibly making a wild card spot?
I think if we're saying how many does he need to win? 6, if we're gonna say need, but like I think kind of the happy medium is between
I
5
think
and
6 is the bare minimum.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If it's a need, but like if we're trying to stay afloat and he'd be in there for a wild card, I think he needs to hover around 5 and 6
5 or 6.
and hope for
Anything
Deshaun
less
comes
than
in balling.
6, I don't think we make playoffs.
I agree.
Especially since Deshaun might be rusty when he gets back. He didn't look that good last game against the Jags.
When he comes back, he's not gonna go like undefeated, then go to the playoffs. Like he's gonna have 1 or 2 losses.
I mean, here, when we come back, game 1 is against the Texans. Okay, that's a win. Let's be honest. We all know what the Texans are this year. Then you've got at Cincy, you've got against Baltimore, you've got against New Orleans, you've got Washington on the road, you've got Pittsburgh on the road. He's probably going to lose 2, maybe 3 of those games. Just, the dude's coming back. He's rusty. He's learning a new system. I don't expect that he's going to tear it apart those first couple games.
That's 5 games total? 6?
That is 6.
If he can win the 3 division games, I'll be happy going to the offseason. If he can knock off the Ravens, Steelers, and Bengals, say he loses for God whatever reason to the Texans or the Saints or whatever. If he can take
And losing to the Texans, come on.
Dude, who the fuck knows? We've seen worse things.
So let me ask you a question. Say Jacoby doesn't have kind of the season we want him to have, and we go into Deshaun's first week with a substantial like losing record, like a pretty big ratio of win to loss record. And we know we're not making the playoffs. Would you rather want that, or would you want us making first week of Deshaun with a winning record, possibly making the playoffs?
What?
I mean, I want the wins. Like we don't have a first round pick. So
wait,
what's the point?
So Jacoby Brissett, he's 14-23 as a starter in the NFL. He's a losing quarterback. Jacoby Brissett's a losing quarterback. Jimmy Garoppolo is a winning quarterback. I mean, you can.
But with Jimmy Garoppolo, it's not just do we get Jimmy Garoppolo? There's a cost to getting Garoppolo, and that cost is likely either draft compensation, assuming we trade for him, or financial, where we take money out this year. And I gotta tell you, I don't think the 1 to 2 wins difference between Garoppolo and Brissett is worth it.
It's not going to be
not just going to hurt us next year. It's going to hurt us the year after. It's going to hurt us the next 4 years.
So Cal, okay, so then what do you think Jacoby goes in those first 11?
What do I think he goes?
Yeah.
Shit, can somebody give me the games right now real quick?
Panthers.
Got it. Panthers, Jets, Pittsburgh. Let's go 3 at a time.
Panthers, Jets, Pittsburgh. All right, I think he wins 1 out of those 3.
That's
Atlanta, Chargers, Patriots.
I think he wins 1 out of those 3.
He gets absolutely curb stomped against the Chargers and likely gets killed by the Patriots. Sounds about right?
Yep.
So we're at 2 and 4. All right, Baltimore, Cincy, Miami.
All losses.
Buffalo, Tampa Bay.
Losses.
Okay. So you have us going, 2 wins.
Yes.
How many wins do you think in that stretch we get with Jimmy G?
Probably.
So again, you're talking Carolina, Jets, Pittsburgh.
We go 2 and 3. I mean, not 2 and 3. 1
2 and 1.
2 and 1.
Pittsburgh, Atlanta, Chargers.
Pittsburgh, Atlanta, Chargers. 2 and 1.
New England, Baltimore, Cincy, Miami, Buffalo, and Tampa Bay.
He could probably goes 2 and 3.
So you're talking,
double to triple the amount of wins.
And even then, we still have a losing record.
And what are we sitting at? What would we be sitting at?
No, that'd be 6.
No, that'd be 6 and 5.
Yeah.
It'd be 2.
What if Jacoby could get 5 wins?
I mean, that'd be sweet.
that'd be sweet, but the percentage of that happening is way lower than if Jimmy Garoppolo was our quarterback.
I just think that in the standpoint from Morgs, the fact that there's so many other variables to it, the fact that if he
The
is to
only
get-
variables are like future variables that we can't control.
we can
The
definitely
variables you're
control that.
talking about are we can't control, but the variables you're talking about are next season.
Which you control the variables for next season.
Right. I took that back.
We have more control over next season than we think.
This is all
Yeah,
I'm
no, but-
saying.
Decisions we
if
make
we're-
this season affect next season and the following 4 to 5, 6 seasons.
This is how I look at it. If we're gonna trade for Jimmy G, we need to do it as we speak and get him into the building if we want him to play by week 1.
I
If that's
agree.
not the case, then I don't want to trade for him. And if we're gonna trade, I want to trade similar to what the Panthers had to give up for a younger quarterback who has a higher ceiling, who's coming off surgery that's not his throwing arm and has already been in their system in their organization for about over a
Exactly.
month now. On top of that, if Jimmy G gets cut, there's no incentive or reason for the 49ers to cut him tomorrow. They're going to wait till the last second to cut him. And he's not going to
the
and
other
he's not
thing
going to
is,
play until around week 2 or 3. So then we're paying him however many millions to play 8 games. So it's not that full 11. He really doesn't play that full 11 that Jacoby would. So we go from Jacoby's offense to Jimmy G's offense to Deshaun's offense. And I just
No,
think
listen. I think
hold up. The other thing is, we talk about Baker, but like we had a direct incentive to be willing to bite part of his contract. We were willing to eat that. Garoppolo's contract isn't guaranteed, so they even if we trade for him, they have no incentive to bite eat any of his contract. So the only way we're guaranteed to get him is if we trade for him, and even then, we're talking what's he being paid, like $25 million this year? They have no reason to eat that contract at all because they can cut him right now, and none of his contract is guaranteed at this point. So they can cut him right now and be done with it.
dude, we have the highest cap room in the league. We have
But
40
but we
million.
don't have that next year, and we need to roll that money over to next year so that we actually have the money.
John,
Next year we are 15 million over the cap.
the 40 million that we have now, Deshaun's $46 million contract a year kicks in next year. And we want to pay
So that's already
10 to
36
15
gone.
million of it for 8 games of Jimmy G to try to save the season and then have a rusty Deshaun come in anyways. And we're going to hold a standard to him that he has to have a gun to his head to finish it off. To me, hell no. Brendan's
No,
out here
it
tweeting,
just-
so we have a
All
young
right,
and
all
talented
right.
roster. Brendan's
All
out here
right.
Doesn't
tweeting
make
a young
sense
and
long
talented
term.
roster.
All right.
He's
So
saying we got a
the,
young
You're
and
trading the
talented
future
roster.
long term.
You're
What?
trading the future to try and win a year where
We're not-
it's already a bad bet.
we're not trading that much of the future. All right, guys.
We're really not.
We are young enough where there's not enough players on our team where we need to pay them top dollar next year. Who are we paying next year? Deshaun, Miles, Ward, Chubb,
Njoku.
a
I'm
couple
sorry,
of the offensive
Njoku.
linemen. Okay, Njoku isn't not guaranteed next year, so we may not bring him back. My point is we have enough players on our team, a core where we can afford to bring in Jimmy Garoppolo. Why would we bring in Jimmy Garoppolo? The team, we're not getting any older. Ward, Chubb,
Well, every team is getting older, but that's beside the
Miles,
point. Time
these
marches
guys,
on.
why are they going to play this year if we're just going to say, you know what, we're going to put out Jacoby Brissett? Oh man, that just grind. Oh, that's just I can't wait for Jacoby
same
Brissett
guy,
to go out there.
The
How
same
is that
guy
any
who was
different
saying,
from Jimmy Garoppolo?
the
Jimmy
same-
Garoppolo is so much better
Hold
than
on.
Jacoby
Dude, yeah,
Brissett.
Jimmy
that's-
Garoppolo was so much
Take
better when he was
forward.
throwing to
What
fucking
the
Deebo
fuck?
Samuel, George Kittle, and David Ayuk.
Morgs. Hey,
He
Morgs.
was so
Morgs.
much better when he was throwing
John.
to 3 great talents.
Morgs. Jimmy Garoppolo is 33-14 as a starter. 33-14.
All I'm saying is I find it very funny that 5 days ago it was we're gonna be fine with Jacoby, and now it's we're rolling out Jacoby Brissett. What is the difference now?
Because I want to win
Difference is-
games.
Winning.
And we thought we were gonna be fine with Jacoby.
Not until
I-
the 11-game suspension.
Yeah.
We thought it was 6.
We
We
thought,
thought
it was
was
6, bro.
Okay, don't give me that. I'm talking about Brennan. But after the 11-game suspension, he was saying we were gonna be fine with Jacoby.
We're not going to be fine because I think that Deshaun is going to be rusty. That's what I've come to.
Motherfucker, I will pull up the screenshots of the group chat. I will do that.
I think we
You
all.
were all in on Brissett, and you were saying we were going to win 9 games with Brissett.
I think
Yeah.
if you were watching the
It's not
game
like he can
today,
change his stance based
if
on
you
what
if
he's.
you
what
Okay,
he's
but
doing.
we're going from 9 wins to a week later to what? 2, 3, 4
I said
wins.
2. I said 2 out of 11.
I guess we're gonna find out. But all I know is it's more than just signing him for 11 games to start because these most likely it's not going to be that. And
I understand.
And those stretch of games that he has, those 7 or 8 games are going to be against Baltimore, are going to be against the Bills, is going to be against the Buccaneers. Those are probably 3 losses for Jimmy G.
I'd rather have Jimmy G out there than Jacoby Brissett.
I
We
asked you,
all
like,
would,
Well,
but
if
it's
he's
not
gonna
a
lose the
matter
game, probably
of.
what the fuck does it matter?
Look,
Especially
if we
paying
had
$10
Jimmy
million
G in the building right now, yes, no one would be challenging him
Yes.
on this. But it's just there's logistical problems with it that just make it's not worth it.
I just think the 49ers want something for Jimmy G. Nobody has offered anything. And yes,
We wanted something for Baker.
but
We
they are
still had to
also,
bite the bullet.
they're not incentivized to just cut him.
Why?
Why would they want to cut him?
Because they can get what? 25 million in their caps. His contract is not guaranteed.
Cutting
so
and
if they cut
trading
him,
is the same
if they
thing.
cut him right now, if they cut him right now, they get plus 25 million. So the only reason they haven't cut him is because they think there's a shot they can maybe get a 5th or 6th round pick for him.
I'll give up a 5th or 6th for him any day of the week.
I said I'd give up a 4th.
I'd rather wait till they cut him and then see if you can sign him for
Right.
fucking nothing.
Right. I'm not fucking giving up a 4th pick for 8 games.
So now you're saying that you want to only have him for 8 games.
That's
No,
what it's
he's-
going to be if he gets cut.
That's what we've been saying.
If he gets cut, he's not starting week 1. He's going to be in the building in like 30 days if he gets cut.
That's fine.
If he was in the building today, sure,
I'd be
we
fine
would
with
say,
it.
okay, but like he's not going to be in the building today.
If they're going to trade for him, they better be on the phone right now and saying we better have him in the building tomorrow. I mean,
We've all seen the stuff. We've all seen social media where there's smoke, there's fire. So obviously, it's not us talking about it.
it
Something's
could be. It could also just be like how back then we were driving at the market saying the Seahawks wanted Baker and whatnot. Who knows if we even really are that interested? And the 49ers could be doing that shit.
Dude, who wants Jimmy G though? Like, I think we are the only suitor for Jimmy G. Who's going to get him? The Seahawks? No, the Seahawks are tanking. Texans tanking. I mean, unless some starting quarterback tears an ACL from now until the start of the year, or
it's us.
I'm not.
that's it.
If we
I could
got
see
him, I wouldn't.
Seahawks maybe talking about it, but that's about it.
I could see the Seahawks.
If we got him, it's not like I'd be fucking
We're
mad.
in the
we got
same
him because
division.
he
That would
does.
happen.
He increases our odds, but I don't think it increases our odds that much through those 11 games. And I think that because 1, he's not even playing those full 11 games. If he does play the first 2, that's kind of just a hope. I don't know. It just kind of all depends on when and how we get him, I guess. But if we got him, I think he's an improvement over Jacoby Brissett.
Yeah, I get a jersey.
But I don't know
Alright.
if you listen to Deep Podesta on today, they seem like very believing of Jacoby.
Although
Yeah,
they
that's
have
my
to say
only-
that.
I think they do, but I don't know. I don't really
I
think it's
think
killing
at
the
this
season
point
if you
we're
ride.
all pretty set in where we stand on the matter. So I don't think we're changing anybody's mind. So
No, I think I got Kevin. Kevin was anti Jimmy Garoppolo week 1. I think I got him over.
I still don't want him.
Damn.
I
Thought he
wouldn't.
wanted him.
I think
Like
I
I
got
said-
Kevin. Nah, I still want him.
It's not that I don't. It's not that I don't want him. It's all based on the variables. How much does it
Yeah,
cost?
it's-
Are we trading for him? Is it cutting for him? How late in the process is he going to be in the building? And can he even throw? He just got cleared like a week and a half ago to start throwing.
Yeah, I mean, I think Ridner and I are at the same stance.
We know.
It's like you bring this guy, you bring him
We want
in.
him for the right price, and we don't think we're gonna get that price.
So you bring him in, say he does like really good and we're winning games. Like, what are we just not gonna play Deshaun, who we're paying
You have
millions
to.
of dollars to for like the
Literally
next fucking
have
5
to.
years? And you're just gonna let this dude like go play and we make the playoffs. You're just gonna keep Jimmy. It's like It's fucking retarded. It's like the Packers picking Jordan Love and pissing off Aaron Rodgers. It's like,
Yeah, I think the upside is
Stupid.
not there. It's not worth the cost.
I think the upside could be there because I think even if it is a 1 or 2 win difference, that could make the break between Deshaun actually having a run at the playoffs or not. But like I said, it all depends on all that other shit. But if we get him and if the other shit lines up, I'm happy with it. I'm cool with it. But I'm not fiending for Jimmy G because if Ariaster is so young and talented, I'm not pressed to get it right now. We don't have old.
Exactly.
I can't think about the future like that. Like,
I don't think the urgency is there. Sorry, Brendan, I cut you off.
I understand. I totally agree with you, Brendan, that like you can't think of it like that. And Cal, I agree with you that Morgan needs to stop thinking everything like dynasty. But unfortunately, I do kind of think that's what they're going to be playing this quarterback position like right now.
I understand.
The quarterback position.
Yeah, and that's what we're talking about.
All right, we gotta move on.
That we do.
Okay, so we need some updates on the Guardians. I know where are we at?
Hey, we're in
fuck are
first
we
place
at?
right now, boys. We're in first place. That's all that matters. Hey, we're a
So-
young team. We're in the first in the division. We're supposed to make the playoffs. You know, once you make playoffs, anything can happen. You know, we got good pitching.
Now the thing is
Yeah.
with Cleveland baseball making the playoffs, it's always make the playoffs, get far, and then our heart gets ripped out of our chest. Do they actually have a chance of making it pretty deep? How like
Probably not. Not
I
this
don't think
year.
so.
They
No,
don't have
this
enough.
isn't the year.
They don't have enough depth at pitching right now. They've got Bieber, Tristan McKenzie, but past that, there's not much. So, I mean, if they're going
The
up against
bullpen is nice, but the starting rotation is not there.
they're going up against an Astros, Yankees, they're not gonna go
Now,
far.
we do have some guys in the minor leagues who are promising. So it's kind of like we're not there this year, but maybe next year or the year after. I think that's where the organization is looking at, because you've got a lot of guys who are coming up where we have a great farm system. It's just they need some time to develop.
move.
Let
we
me
have
ask
the
you guys-
I think we have the craziest like developmental farm system in the league. I swear to God, we produce guys like crazy.
It's
Yeah.
the pitchers. They can. I don't know what it is, but they will pull a starting pitcher out of their asshole. Like they're just like abracadabra. Here's Corey Kluber.
Yeah,
But
Kluber,
batting, they just
Bieber,
have not been
McKenzie.
able to figure
Dude.
out.
It's and then how's this? What is it? Jimenez, second baseman.
Yeah,
Andres
yeah,
The
yeah.
Jimenez.
All-Star game, right?
He'll probably get a Gold Glove too. He's like great fielder, all star.
He is super talented. I still think he's a year away, but oh god, he is promising. The potential just oozes off of this kid.
So positional players, we got Ramirez, Jimenez. Who else is out there?
Well,
Jose.
Steven Kwan is he's old school baseball. Dude just hits for average and just gets on base like there's no tomorrow, but the power is just he's not the most he doesn't have the most power, but the dude just gets on base like it's his job, which I mean I guess it is, but
yeah,
So let me-
honestly,
Yeah, go ahead.
they actually lead the league in contact percentage. So like they don't miss when they swing. So that's good. And that's kind of how they can mount these comebacks. Like recently they've been coming back into games. So
what was it?
It's exciting.
2 nights ago they had
Against
like 4
Detroit.
strikeouts in an inning and still scored 6 runs.
yeah. Got to get down to a
Isn't
game.
Rosario
boys.
pretty good?
I meant Rosario.
Yeah, he's gonna be.
So,
He's
like,
kind of hot and cold.
The Lindor
Yeah.
trade. How would you judge the Lindor trade right now so far?
Lindor's
Honestly, I think we're winning that.
Really?
That's how we got
Jimenez, Rosario.
Jimenez, and it's one of those weird trades where like Lindor is playing out of his goddamn mind right now. But honestly, I think both teams won that.
So like
They got Lindor who's playing out of his fucking mind, but but Andres Jimenez is playing pretty damn well, and he's a 10th of the cost, a 20th.
So like is one of the problems with the Indians is like we always have these young rosters, but then it doesn't get to a point where we're gonna have to pay them or do something with them, and then we kind of kill ourselves out of that, like, because we're saying like not this year, but maybe next year, but there's maybe next year, the next year after that, then we got to pay some guys that we can't afford, and then we're gonna have to go back to young guys again. And is that
Brandon,
kind
I'll
of
let you take the lead on this. I'd like to get my thoughts in real quick. The thing with the Guardians is they go through phases, right? Where they're kind of, every window is they're kind of looking at it as, all right, we have 2 to 3 years, then they'll get too expensive and we'll have to rebuild. They're really good at doing that, but they still have to do it.
So are they in like year one now, kind of that rebuild again?
I mean,
I think
honestly,
they're a year early.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
they're definitely developed enough where we have like the pieces to. I mean, we're making the playoffs this year, so honestly, I
Exactly.
expect them to even get better next year because we're not going to lose anyone. Like Jose, we have locked up. Bieber, we may lose, but we've got enough pitching in the minors where we should be good enough next year. So it's promising. It's promising for sure. And honestly, I love the Indians because, like,
What'd
You
you
know,
say?
But yeah,
Guardians, dude.
What?
Guardians.
you offensive bastard.
oh, I don't care. I'll just call them the Indians any day. Like,
I think they're kind of like the Bengals were last year, where no one really expected them to be there. They were kind of a year early, and they're going to be scary this upcoming year. I think they're kind of like that in that no one thought they were going to be where they were, so they're kind of a year early. I don't foresee the World Series this year or next year, or maybe next year, but they're kind of in that. They're a year early. They're a year ahead of schedule.
That's exciting.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I want to ask you another question. So with the MLB, why do they have trouble getting? So I'm like, if I'm a sports fan, but the MLB pisses me off because I don't think they do enough marketing to pull in your average sports fan into just the MLB in general. I think I don't know. Explain to me why they can't. Explain to me why they can't make me a fan of the MLB.
they're too old school.
That's a good point.
No, I know they're too old school, but they just implemented a rule with what can they like electronically like tell the pitcher what to pitch now?
Yeah. They've implemented
kind
that.
of. They're adding
Right?
an electronic strike zone, so it's
You know, like-
more.
So
And-
you just said they're old school, but they're implementing technology. I'm just having I don't know.
I guess just with the
It's more
It's
the
just-
culture.
I just think it's just the nature of the other sports. Like the NFL, like you just got too much hype around the NFL. Like it's once a week, you've got one shot to win. And the MLB season's probably just too long, to be honest. It's
Yeah.
162
I disagree.
games.
I disagree.
Well,
I
it's-
think the
it's
season
super
is like the
long.
Dude, it's
perfect
180 something games.
That's
182.
Too long.
Well, and you think of
162.
every other
162,
sport,
yeah.
it's so fast paced, like basketball, football, hockey per se. Like there's shit going on like all the time. Whereas like baseball, there's more like breaks in the action, like every second. Like it's like there's like breaks going on everywhere. So it's like, I mean, it's more of something that's hard to watch on the TV. But like if you go to a game, yeah, you can have fun. But
I agree. I think it's really the only
I'm
time
not trying to sit
playoffs.
down.
They don't
and
market
watch-
their stars
I'm
at
not
all.
trying to sit down and watch
Yes.
162 games, the full season, all 9 innings, so I can follow a team. It's just too much.
Right.
But you don't have to, and that's the nice thing about it is you can say, all right, I got nothing going on. There's a baseball game on. Let's watch it.
John, you're in the
problem
minority.
is
I agree.
the
with that.
problem is they don't market their stars at all. There's no personality to the game.
There's
Yeah, there's
none,
like
and I
there's
still
like 5 dudes.
Mike
that, like,
Trout
they
is
market
one of
off
the best players we've ever seen, and 90% of people wouldn't recognize him on the street. If LeBron walks down the street, he can't go 30 seconds without somebody recognizing him.
dude. I don't think I would notice any Indians players in the bar other than like Jose Ramirez if they were in there, to be honest.
Yeah, there's
Right,
like there's a
if you
handful.
put if you put like all like gray players on the TV in the place of an actual human being, it wouldn't change a thing.
I agree.
Like
Here's a
just
question I
a
have
just a
too.
human, a gray shape on the baseball diamond. It would be the same thing as if I were to watch it right now.
I'm with that.
Yeah, there's no
Like-
personality to it, to be honest.
Yeah.
I feel like they don't even like when there's personality either. Like sometimes I'll see like a tweet on Twitter of like little league players getting hyped, and then I'll see like all these old heads in the comments saying like this isn't what baseball is like. You shouldn't be allowed to
It's
sit on the
disrespectful.
pitcher
Yeah.
or throw
Yeah.
a bat flip. Like you should be able to
But,
throw the bat to the outfield after you hit a home run.
Yeah. But that's all we got for this week. Brendan, thanks for joining us. First time on. Great having you. Fellas, we'll see you next week.
By the way.
Peace.
Muni-Lot madness.